You can't fight it, Marissa's voice floated through the woods, calm, mocking. The bell owns you, Juliet. And soon, it will own Lila too. Lila's grip tightened around Juliet's wrist. No, she whispered fiercely. We own ourselves. She pulled Juliet off the path, weaving through thicker brush. Twigs snapped, skirts tore, but the lantern's glow dimmed behind them. For a moment, Lila dared to hope they were gaining ground. Then, the bell again. Juliet's body stiffened mid-stride, her eyes glazing. She tried to turn back, feet dragging toward the sound. Juliet. Lila shook her desperately. Stay with me. For a flicker of a second, Juliet's real self broke through, eyes wide, terrified, pleading. I can't, stop. Lila thought fast. She tore the photograph of Jason from her pocket, thrusting it into Juliet's hands. Look at this. This is you. Not her puppet. You. Juliet's gaze locked on the photo. Tears streaked down her cheeks, but the vacant obedience in her expression faltered. Her fingers clenched around the paper as if it were a lifeline. Jason, she whispered. The name was fragile, but it was hers. The bell rang again, sharper, angrier this time. Marissa's voice echoed closer. You can't run forever. The woods belong to me. The bell belongs to me. And so do you. Lila pulled Juliet forward with renewed strength. Then we'll run until we're free. The two women plunged deeper into the forest, the night alive with rustling leaves, snapping branches, and the relentless chime of silver closing in. The forest thickened the farther they ran. Low branches clawed at their hair, briars ripped at their skirts, but Lila dragged Juliet forward with stubborn strength. Each step was agony, but stopping wasn't an option. Behind them, the lantern's glow bobbed like a predator's eye. The bell chimed again, sharp, mocking. Juliet faltered. Her breaths came in ragged sobs, and her grip on the photograph was the only thing keeping her from collapsing completely. She's close, she whispered. I can feel her. Lila glanced back. Marissa was no longer just a silhouette. Her pale face shone in the lantern light, calm and smiling, like a queen walking through her court. You can't run from me, Marissa's voice carried across the trees. The woods end, and when they do, you'll have nowhere left to go. And she was right. Lila's stomach dropped as the trees suddenly broke apart. They had reached the edge of a cliff, the ground falling sharply into a ravine below. The moonlight revealed the drop steep, rocky, impossible. We're trapped, Juliet gasped. The bell rang again. Juliet staggered, nearly dropping to her knees. Marissa emerged from the trees, raising her lantern high, her smile widening as she saw them cornered. Well, she said softly, that was a spirited run. But games must end. Lila's heart thundered. The ravine was suicide. Staying meant capture. There was only one chance left. She turned to Juliet, gripping her face with both hands. Listen to me. She doesn't own you. The bell doesn't own you. You choose who you are. Right now, you choose. Juliet's eyes flickered wildly, caught between terror and something fiercer. She clutched the photograph against her chest, whispering through her tears, Jason. Juliet, me. Marissa stepped closer, the bell raised. Come back to me, darling. Lila acted. She snatched a rock from the ground and hurled it with all her strength. It struck the bell from Marissa's hand, the chime cut off mid-ring as the silver object clattered to the ground. Marissa's eyes widened in shock. For the first time, her mask cracked. Run! Lila shouted. She pulled Juliet toward the tree line beside the cliff, plunging into the undergrowth. Branches tore at them as they disappeared into the shadows, Marissa's furious cry echoing behind them. You think you can destroy me? This isn't over. The bell lay silent on the ground, but its absence only promised that Marissa would be more dangerous than ever. Branches slapped against Lila's face as she dragged Juliet deeper into the woods. For the first time, Juliet wasn't lagging. Her steps were frantic, wild, free. The photograph was still clutched in her fist, and she gasped between breaths, it's quieter. I can breathe. She can't pull me anymore. Lila squeezed her hand tighter. The bell's gone. She has no hold on you now. But behind them, a scream shattered the night. Marissa's voice raw, furious, no longer the silk-smooth mask she always wore. Do you think a toy made you safe? I don't need the bell. You belong to me. The sound chilled Lila to her core. This wasn't calm Marissa, the woman who wielded control with smiles and whispers. This was something primal and raged. The lantern's glow reappeared, weaving through the trees, faster than before. Without the bell, Marissa's pursuit was reckless, relentless. She's close, Juliet whispered, panic creeping back into her voice. Then we don't stop, Lila said fiercely. The woods grew steeper, the ground slanting downward toward the ravine again. Rocks crumbled beneath their shoes as they scrambled over roots and brush. The forest seemed endless, yet every flicker of light behind them reminded them they weren't free, not yet. Suddenly, Juliet stumbled. She fell hard, scraping her knees on jagged stone. The photograph slipped from her hand, fluttering onto the dirt. No! Juliet cried, clawing for it. Lila scooped it up, pressing it back into her palm. Hold on to this. Don't let go. Juliet's fingers closed around it with desperate strength. Marissa's voice carried through the trees, closer than ever. You can run until your legs bleed, but you'll never outrun me. I made you. And what I make, I keep. Her lantern light flickered through the branches, drawing nearer. Lila's chest heaved. They were out of time. Ahead, through the shadows, she spotted a faint glimmer, the shape of a dirt road, open and wide, cutting through the trees. Juliet! The road, come on. They pushed forward, their last strength carrying them through the underbrush. The sound of snapping twigs behind them told Lila Marissa was only yards away now. As they burst from the tree line, the road stretched before them like salvation. But there was nothing, no cars, no houses, only emptiness under the pale moonlight. Lila's heart plummeted. They were free of the forest, but not safe. Juliet clung to her, sobbing. What do we do? Behind them, Marissa's lantern glow broke through the trees. Her voice was low, furious, promising destruction. You can't hide from me. The woods, the world, even yourselves, they all bend to me. And then, with a snap, the lantern went dark. Marissa was hunting them in silence now. The dirt road stretched pale and empty under the moonlight, bordered on both sides by whispering trees. Lila's chest heaved as she pulled Juliet forward, both of them stumbling on shaky legs. Keep going, she panted. We'll find someone, anyone. But the woods behind them crackled with movement. A branch snapped. Then another. Marissa's silhouette emerged from the tree line. No lantern this time, only the silver glint of moonlight on her eyes. Her nightgown dragged along the dirt, her hair wild now unpinned, a storm barely contained. You think this road will save you, she hissed, her voice carrying unnaturally clear in the stillness. This road belongs to me too. Everything does. Juliet whimpered, clutching the photograph to her chest like a talisman. Her knees buckled, but Lila held her upright. Stay behind me, Lila whispered. Marissa stepped closer, her bare feet silent on the road, her gaze locked on Juliet. Give her to me, Lila. You don't understand the damage you're doing. She's fragile. She needs me. No, Lila said firmly, surprising herself with the steel in her voice. She doesn't need you. She needs freedom. Marissa's eyes narrowed. Her smile vanished, replaced by something darker. You forget who I am. You forget what I can do. And then she lunged. Lila shoved Juliet aside just as Marissa's hand shot forward, claws in the moonlight. The two women crashed into the dirt, rolling violently. Dust rose in a choking cloud, the road scraping Lila's skin raw. Marissa's strength was shocking, her grip like iron as she tried to pin Lila down. You think you're saving her? She snarled, her face inches away. You're ruining her. She'll never survive without me. Lila twisted, desperation flooding her. Better to fall trying than to rot under your chains. Juliet's cry pierced the chaos. Lila! Through the haze, Lila saw her kneeling in the road, holding a jagged rock, trembling. Juliet's eyes were wide, torn between terror and something braver. Marissa saw it too. She laughed coldly. She won't fight me. She can't. She's mine. Juliet's hands shook violently as she raised the rock. Tears streaked her face, but her voice trembled with defiance. "No," she whispered. "I'm not." The rock came down. It struck Marissa's shoulder, not her head, but hard enough to make her cry out and loosen her grip. Lila shoved her away, scrambling to her feet and pulling Juliet up with her. For a breathless second, they were both standing, bloodied and trembling, staring at Marissa writhing in the dirt. The road stretched ahead, empty, dangerous, but theirs. "Run," Lila said again. Together, they fled down the moonlit road, leaving Marissa's furious scream echoing behind them. Their lungs burned, legs screaming with every stride, but Lila and Juliet didn't stop running. The dirt road stretched endlessly under the moonlight, the forest pressing in on both sides like walls. Behind them, Marissa's furious cries faded into the distance, but neither woman dared believe they were safe. Not yet. Juliet stumbled, collapsing to her knees. Lila dropped beside her, clutching her shoulders. "We can't stop," she gasped. "She'll catch up." Tears streaked Juliet's face, her grip still tight on the photograph. "I can't, my legs." And then light. Faint at first, then growing brighter. Headlights. A low rumble echoed across the road as a vehicle approached from the bend ahead. Lila's heart surged with desperate hope. "Someone's coming," she cried, pulling Juliet to her feet. "We can flag them down." The headlights drew closer, blinding in the night. Lila waved frantically, shouting until her voice cracked. Juliet leaned against her, too weak to raise her arm, but her eyes glistened with fragile hope. The vehicle slowed. Tires crunched on gravel. A dark pickup truck rolled to a stop in front of them. The driver's window lowered, revealing a man in his 40s with tired eyes and a wary expression. "What on earth, are you two all right?" Lila stumbled forward, desperation flooding her words. "Please, you have to help us. There's a woman, she's after us." Juliet clutched Lila's arm, whispering, "Don't trust too quickly." Her fear was raw, instinctive. The man frowned. "Get in. I'll take you to town."